Hey, Tara Cherie here with you, coming to you live from my home office today. It's really good to have you here. And if you're joining us for the first time, I just want to really welcome you here. And if you're joining us again, and this is multiple times of you coming, I'm really glad to have you as a viewer. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. So we're gonna jump right in today and I'm gonna keep this short and sweet to the point. It's really just one key tip, but it's a key tip that could really make a difference with your online business and how you do business. And so, with that said, you really want to make sure that you're gaining influence and you're attracting to your home business when you're working online. Okay, a lot of people still go out there and they're doing advertising and they're kind of just spinning their wheels a little bit because online is the future. Okay, and there's value in relationships. I can't tell you how many times somebody on social media said, I get the request just to like their page, and it's like, wow, there's no value in relationship there. So really where I want to take this though is I want to keep the focus a little bit on relationship. When you say relationship, you always want to be building rapport, but you also want to be adding value, who you're connecting with. And so you want to give them something for free, like a free offer. You want to give them something that keeps them coming back to your page, to your business, to, your life, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. And so the way to add value, one of the best ways, it depends what industry you're in. So you have to really think about that first. So that could be some of the fastest growing fields, which is more tech savvy social media stuff, but it's also health and wellness industry, right? It's also beauty industry. It's also travel industry. I mean, there's so many of them, right? So you want to keep the focus going. You want to make sure that you're posting on your page, whether it's memes. People love memes. They love those sorts of things. They like to laugh, that'll keep them coming back because they'll start to get real curious about what it is that you're posting. And they like that because they want to interact with you a little bit. You want to post things that keep them interacting and engaging with you. Okay, so one thing I like to do is I really like to ask questions. Okay, that's another way to build rapport in your online business. Okay, because the key thing is not just have people follow you and not say anything. You want to get more engagement, so that way you could build more interaction. Aside from privately messaging someone, which I always encourage, do not just invite them to like your page. You want to encourage them and keep building relationship over time. I like to keep just a book that I have where I have everybody's names and stuff in them and how often I've connected with them. And if I go back and I scroll through my social media and I notice, hey, I haven't talked to that person in a really long time, I really want to make sure that I have engagement with them and then I build that rapport and that relationship with them. I want to see where we left off and how they're doing, and that allows me to make that connection again. Okay, but I want them to do that also on my wall, right? Because I want to get to know a little bit more about them. So it keeps them intrigued in that way, and it keeps me intrigued because then I get to know a little bit more about them, right? So it's a really great way. So asking questions is always a great way. It's always a good idea to do. And then another way is to post tips, tools, and strategies. So that may be an article that you find that might be something that that you found interesting that relates to your industry. Okay, it could be that you give them a chance to embark on your offer. Okay, maybe you consult, maybe you coach, maybe you're doing a webinar. Okay, so that's another way. Another way is two-person interviews, where you interview somebody in your industry about the results, their track record, what it is that they really believe in and why, and think about who your market is and who you want to engage and interact with, and that'll be the basis for how you interview and what that discussion really looks like. Okay, so that's something to take into consideration. Another way is, if you're somebody like, let's say, that you are in the fitness industry, okay, then you can tailor around offering free sessions. Maybe you do small little snippet videos consistently over time of different things that you're doing in the gym. Okay, and that's very attractive, and you can encourage it and have people opt into what you're doing. Okay, that's another way to do that. And that's something that if you want help with that, I can actually help you create opt-ins and things like that. Okay, and I'd be more than happy to do that. But another way that I wanted to share with you today, okay, or I guess you could do another one is like in the like food industry, you could give a free recipe as an example, or maybe you could stay in your kitchen, do live video that way. So that's another way, because you're showing people, right? You're bringing some sort of value. You're visually showing them what makes you stand out and why they should connect with you. And you don't always have to be the expert. I mean, you could refer them to other experts to get additional information or to plug in, because you want to give them a chance. You want to be able to eventually get the information in front of them on why you want them to connect with you about business and things like that. But sometimes if you just immediately present somebody with business, they're not going to want to engage with you because you're just pitching something at them. Okay, and you're not really identifying or relating. You know, people want somebody that they can relate to. They are looking for somebody to lead them, but they want somebody that they know has their best interest, that really cares, that's building a relationship with them. So if you're interacting over time and you continue to check in, you continue to post things that maybe that they really like, that they're really interested in, you have a much higher chance. And not only that, but you stand out from other industries because there's still people and other businesses that are just, you know, opt in, or, you know, click here and register, but there's no personal interaction and connection. People want a personal connection with you. So they're not just in it for a product or a service or a company aspect, but they're also in it because they want a relationship with you. So you got to keep that in mind. So you always want to keep staying ahead. The biggest key factor here is how consistent you are with it. So you want to try to meet at the same times or close to the same times each week, especially if you're doing live videos and things like that. Scheduling out your content is a really good idea, especially if you know you can't be, you know, because, I mean, let's face it, you don't want to be on your social media all day. Some people do, but a lot of people have busy lives. They don't always have time. They got to work smarter, not harder. So being really consistent with how you post, especially on social media, will be definitely helpful for you. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And doing informational videos like this too are also very helpful. It's a really good way because you're like, oh, I didn't really necessarily think about that idea. That's a really good idea. So you want to make sure to do that. Okay. But the key strategy here today that I want to share, I'll get into that now, is you want to create a group. Okay. You want to make sure that whatever field it is that you're in or industry that you're in, you want to be able to create a group that people can come into. Okay, so for example, if you're in the health and wellness industry, you know, maybe you want to do a weight loss group. Okay, maybe you want to do a detox group. Okay, maybe you want to do a clean eating group. Okay, and in these you could post, you know, words of encouragement. You could post different recipes. You could post different strategies and tips that you've done, that others have done, that will help them along in their journey. And that will allow you to check in with people. And when they see what it is that you're doing, okay, you can continue to invite and grow that. And pretty much eventually you can transition actually what you're doing business-wise, either into the group or, you know, post in your group that you're creating a business page and have them follow you that way. When it continues to get bigger and bigger, you'll definitely increase your value and you'll definitely be considered more, not necessarily an expert, but just somebody that's a good resource, that could really be trusted. And so you really want to make sure that you're constantly bringing value. You don't want to be the person that knows it all. But you just want to be a really good, solid person that person feels really comfortable connecting with, that they feel like they can identify and relate with you. And because you want them saying, me too, me too. You know, you want them to feel good about, you know, coming to you, that you're this real person, you're raw, you know, not everything is always hunky-dory on social media. And you don't have to tell them everything about, you know, your life and what you're doing, but you know, adding a little bit of personal touch and value goes a really long way, because then they see, oh, you have a real life too. Well, you're doing this here, but you still have a life. You know, you're still living. You have a quality life. Oh, you have freedom. I really want that. It makes you look really, really attractive. And not only that, it makes you a truly trusted resource that they can come to because you're always giving them value. Hey, I really like that girl. She's always got really, solid tips and strategies and ideas, and I feel like I could jive with those, and I'm going to continue to refer people to her. I'm going to continue to invite people to this, to this group and to this page. And it doesn't have to be something that you post a ton in with your group. You could do, maybe 3 posts, 4 or 5, depending on the day. I have one right now that's on, I'm in the health and wellness industry, and I do modified detox for breastfeeding and pregnant moms, okay? And occasionally I'll go into some of the other company groups and I'll say, hey, we're still building this. Here's this person's results. Here's that person's results. And some people still come to me and say, hey, I really want to know more about this group, and I've heard really great things about it, and I'm hearing moms that are having weight loss results and that you're sharing some really great tips, tools, and strategies. How can I get in on that? And I just it's real easy for me because I created a way and a system to be able to do that. So all my content is scheduled, and I can focus a little bit more on building a relationship with them. I've got systems and opt-ins and different things put in place that I can focus more on relationship now, which is what I wanted. And so I just reach out to them, and I'm able to send them a couple of links and spend that time actually connecting with them. And it just means so much more because the limited amount of time that I have, I'm able to truly make a heartfelt connection, and I'm able to guide and direct them to where it is that they need to go so that they can start getting those results, or so that they can learn what it is that they need to learn. And I could bring that value to them, and then they could share with me their personal experiences. And the next thing you know, there's this interaction going on because I don't know everybody, but they know other people who know people. And they can bring those people in, and I can learn from those people. And then we can continue to grow and interact and build together all on social media. And next thing you know, it's, oh, by the way, I see all these great tips, tools, and strategies. Wait, what is it that you do in business? I'd like to learn more about that. And then you could bring them in on the back end of your business, and you could build that way. It's actually a really smart way to build because it focuses completely on relationships. So anyway, I don't want to give all my tips and strategies away, but I definitely shared some good nuggets with you today. Wouldn't you agree? So I'd love to connect with you more. I'm going to leave my contact information in the details of this video. So if you want to reach out to me and learn, Tara, what does opt-in mean? What systems are you using? How are you building? I'd like to know more about posting on social media and the analytics behind it, and how to grow my business more using my social media. Would truly love to connect with you. So feel free to reach out to me that way. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. It is kind of on a first come, first serve limited basis, but for sure I'm more than welcome to connect with you. I hope this brought some sort of value for you today. It's been a real true pleasure in connecting with you. If you have any questions or comments too, you can feel free to post them in the comments below in the video, or you can also private message me. Again, I'll leave that information in the comment section. As always, it's been truly a pleasure to connect with you. I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I will look forward to connecting with you on Tuesday between 12:50 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye for now.